Hello, good evening. Good evening. Welcome. My name is Kwabena and welcome. I want to share with you some thought on what I call mentorship and entrepreneurship. Mentorship and entrepreneurship, or mentorship and life in general. Mentorship and life in general. Um, in as much as most of us hear of the word mentorship, or we call somebody to say that you are my mentor, I don't think it's a word that is really that much popular and inculcated in our culture uh, that much. I think that we say it, but it's not really practiced as it is done in some places. Some places mentorship is almost like a worship. I am not really somebody who is a fan of mentorship in its strictest sense. But I also think that every one of us would need somebody who would inspire us at a stage, at a point in our lives. And the journey of business, from the way I see it, um, you will need somebody to look up to for inspiration. They don't have to necessarily be with you physically. There are people who you can follow their books, their thoughts, their teachings, you know, uh, the things that they write, their articles, people all over. They don't have to even be in your country or in your district or in your town. Sometimes they live somewhere that you may never have even known, but their ideas may have affected you so much. I remember when we were about to finish school. I remember 4-year university education. You know, uh, somewhere they will give you career counseling. They will tell you, they will actually organize some things, and some companies will even come and interview some of you. At least they will give you some kind of teachings and some kind of information as to where to go out there when you are about to finish your education. I don't remember ever going through that. Um, what I remember was that you were just finishing school, and you were filling form to do national service, and then after that you go and fend for yourself. You go and fight and see what opportunities are there for you. For most of us, what we call mentors are people that are popular on TV who seem to be doing something that we have some kind of interest in. So we say that, oh, that man there is my mentor. The other lady there is my mentor. I aspire to be like them. And in our country, almost all mentors are, religious leaders, politicians, and people who sing and dance, footballers. Those are just about the mentors that we see to a large extent. For creators and innovators, for entrepreneurs and things like that, I don't know if there are a lot of them that you would want to call a mentor. But every one of us will need some kind of examples to look up to. It makes life easier. It makes some things clear in your head. And it's always a good thing to have somebody who inspires you. So if you are somebody who is into business, entrepreneurship, you're about an idea, you're trying to build a business for yourself, for your family, for your country, I think that is energizing, to have somebody that you can see who represents where you want to go. Now, the challenge is that the person should not just be some stage where you look up to that you want to be like, but the path that the person used to get there should not be so much distant from the path, the realistic path that you find yourself that possibly you may take. The economy, the environment, the culture, the background, that that person may have taken to get to wherever they are, especially in terms of entrepreneurship. If they are going to inspire you, they may not necessarily have to just deviate from that kind of path. If they deviate so much, it's their words that you can relate to. But just getting motivations without realistic understanding and having a plan to get into the dream life that you desire, the dream business that you want to build, will create only frustration for you. Only frustration for you. So mentorship and entrepreneurship. And you can go as far as what you know. You can't do that which you don't know. And there are people who have taken some part, who have endured some challenges, who have won some wars, had some victories in this life. You glean from their wisdom, from their experiences, from their thought, from their inspirations. Cultures that do well, people tend to share their knowledge of what they have endured. Sometimes in their books, sometimes one-on-one. They are passionate to share the things that they have learned, the wisdom that they have acquired in trying to build their businesses. In our country, we have a lot of people who talk about businesses who are still taking salary somewhere. They are experts. Talk about entrepreneurship, and yet they are taking salary somewhere every month. They have never started any business before, but they are experts in encouraging people to start businesses. A lot of them are politicians. You know, the youth should go into business for themselves. And he has never built any business before. He took the political part. It's always inspiring to have somebody to study. To have somebody to study. When you happen to have a chance to get close to somebody that you call a mentor, especially if you can get access to them physically, you should be knowledgeable and skilled as to how you will work with such people. You don't go there seeking ideas from such people and at the same time debating and fighting and becoming disrespectful with them. You don't have to be a puppet, but you would have to give cognizance to the fact that they have achieved something and they have acquired some level of knowledge that you want to learn from. We are used to mentorship. You know, there is a teacher who inspired you. There is a pastor who inspired you. There's a radio personality that you want to be like. I don't think we have a lot of mentors in terms of creators and innovators and people who have built businesses from scratch. They are not, you know, because what people really look up to is that which is that much common and popular. And so the young people are looking up to only the musicians, the radio personalities, the politicians, the pastors, as people that they want to become. They don't see a lot of people who are building businesses, who are building industries, and which they would want to look and say that I also want to become a business owner like that. Some countries, which free market countries, which have produced a lot of successful people, which have developed. A lot of them developed through these people. They promoted a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of creators, a lot of people, industrialists, people who built businesses, and they became icons that the young people or the whole generation could look and get inspired and say that we would want to be like that. You would have to pick your own mentors. You would have to pick your own people that you would want to learn from if you have taken the part of business. The part of business. If you have taken that part, you would want to study. You would want to pick those people yourself. You know, I personally, my story, I've not really had everything that I was looking for in one man to say that this is my mentor from the things that I look for. I am much interested in people who are interested in entrepreneurship, people who believe in ethics, integrity, honesty, people who are passionate about Africa's development and prosperity. People like that, people who are interested in innovation, technology, things like that. And it is hard for me, or it has been hard for me to find all these things based on the network that I have in one person. Yes, sometimes you have somebody who is interested in entrepreneurship, but is not so much passionate about, let's say, Africa or innovation, or he may not stand for that much. They may not be stand. They may not stand that much for ethics and honesty and things like that. Or you may find somebody who believes in ethics, but then who may not necessarily believe in entrepreneurship, or who may not necessarily be passionate about Africa and things like that. So it becomes tough sometimes for me to find uh, everything that I'm looking for in one man. So, I split them. There are 2 or 3 or 4 people that I say they are my mentors. I've never met them. A lot of them I've just read their books, and I continue to watch their videos, listen to their tapes. They have shaped my mind all these years. They have built me to be opposite to what the general people, the general public believes in. They have built my mind, they have built my philosophy, they have built my strength. Because everything that they write, I so much want to understand. I so much want to study from them. I've learned a lot about the way they understand entrepreneurship. I've learned a lot the way they understand ethics, the way they believe in our continent and its prosperity. They believe in innovation and technology and progress. They believe in the future of humanity. I've learned a lot. I look at their heart and how they share. I look at their heart and how they share what they know freely with people. Those are the people who inspired me. People who started from nothing. Some of them didn't have any background which was so much good, but they fought their way through to become what they have become. People who may not even have had the technical education that I think I have, but they have built businesses from scratch. People who have the liberty of heart to raise strong men and women around them. People who have affected and changed lives. These are people that I look at and I say that they are my mentors. Over the course of my life, I've replaced some of them, and added some of them, replaced some of them, added some of them. At this stage in my life, I'm so much particular about people who believe in entrepreneurship, who believe in ethics and honesty, who believe in the prospects of our continent and what we can do to develop and grow our people and give better chances to our people. I believe in people who believe in integrity and honesty, and innovation. These are the people that I look up to as mentors, and who are very much futuristic, who can predict what is going to happen in the next 20, 30 years, 40 years, where industry is going, where business is going, where mankind is gearing towards. There are very few, and not every one of them is even an African. And I watch their videos, I study them. They mean a lot to me. They have never met me. I've never met them. A lot of them I've never met, but I call them mentors. Why I do that is because the world has changed. The world has changed. The mix that you're looking for, if you can't find them in the immediate people around you, you can find them online. After all, before, nobody could sell anything online. Okay, there was no internet. There was nothing like e-commerce, social media. There was nothing like that. Now there's e-commerce. There's a lot that people can do online. So why can't you be inspired and find your network online? People the ecosystem of encouragement, the ecosystem of same thinking people, people who are looking at life from the same intensity as you are looking at life. Those are the people that they inspire me. I'm not inspired by somebody who's just looking at buying a house, or building a house and buying a car, and who is just interested in, how nice family they have. No, I'm looking at people who are thinking globally, thinking about changing, not just their country, but changing the continent, changing the world with their persuasion, with their thinking, with their heart. I'm not looking at people who are just very much happy and satisfied with the fact that they get 10,000 salary a month. Those are not the people who inspire me. Those are not my mentors. I'm looking at people who create a lot of wealth and they don't even need it. They are just creating opportunities for people. They have inspirations, they share them the next minute. People who are not selfish, people who are not just looking at their interests and their integrity and that they want to guard what they want to have. Those who inspire me are people who are dangerously risky. You know, if they are so much passionate about loving people and doing something to change lives and improve lives, that they will put their dignity and their heart and everything that they have acquired online if what they have to share will liberate and enhance lives. Those are the people who inspire me. I'm looking at people who are creating billions, of billion, city businesses, people who think larger than the environment that they grew up in. Those are the people that I call mentors to me, and they are not many. They are not many. Genuine mentors, when you meet them or when you study from them, they are selfless. They are selfless. They are intense. They steady. They are big-hearted. They look for the specialty in you. They are not wanting. They don't want you to be like them. They just want you to live the life according to your strength and according to that which you came to this life with. Genuine mentors are not interested in you taking the up. Some people have business ideas and they are afraid of discussing it with people they call mentors. If you're afraid of discussing with somebody you call a mentor, it means that mentor is not a mentor. He's a predator. A mentor is not interested in stealing from you because he's built what is built by his ethics, by his honesty, by his love for people. Great people that you can learn from are not really interested in taking anything from you. They are really interested in giving to you. And so it should be a philosophy that you have to have. And all of us look for somebody. Every one of us is looking for somebody who can inspire us, who can lead us in a certain aspect of our lives. And if you're a business person, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to believe in that. Unfortunately, in our kind of country, it's tough for you to have somebody who will be so much interested in helping you, in mentoring you, in giving you leadership when it comes to entrepreneurship. Why? Because if you list the things that are listed, those who believe in entrepreneurship, who believe in honesty and in ethics, who believe in the prospects of Africa, who believe in technology, innovation, who think deep and far, your numbers will be that much little. It will reduce because even those who you call doing businesses, a lot of them may not stand for the things that are so much dear. So for me, those things are so much dear to me that if your business is not helping the African people to create value and prosperity, I don't look up to you as a mentor. You may inspire another person, that's okay, but not me. Not me, because I am looking at the prosperity of our continent, the prosperity of our people, the innovations that our people can bring. You meet a young man who has just finished university, an engineer, who is trying to do something with his life. And he's confused. When I finished school, there was a lot of confusion as to which path to take. Where do I go? Where do I move? What do I do? Do I pursue the engineering? Or do I stop the engineering and go and look for MBA? Or go and do law, or go and do PhD to become a lecturer? There were things like that. Where are you going to make your choice? Who was there to give me directions? I didn't find any. You just keep searching. So I remember at a point I had to go after that school. I had to go and read computer hardware because I didn't know what to do. Just was trying to find out what do I do with my life. If you have gone through some kind of things like that, you can help somebody who has just finished school, who probably may be as confused as you were when you were at their age. That is called mentorship. Can you inspire a young man to find the path that they have to follow, even if they didn't have anybody and they met you? Can you do that? Just as you are looking for a mentor, you should also be ready to also give some kind of help support, knowledge, some clarity to somebody who may have been in the same situation that you were some years back. Mentorship is key. It is key. That one of the reasons why we have a lot of the so-called confused generation, youth, people who are looking for jobs, is not because there are not jobs or there are not things that they can do. Sometimes it's just they are not clear as to which path to take. Majority of us, or most of us, the whole structure, the whole economy is not trying to give directions to the youth, And so, and unfortunately, they themselves, when they even meet somebody who can help them to get their thought rightly, they don't even know how to behave in the presence of these people. They don't have the skill to really talk and get the best of wisdom from such people. And for me, that is a trouble. Okay, so if you happen to be a young man and you are looking for clarity as to where you want to go with your life, and you meet somebody who you think can mentor you, there is a way you have to behave. There is a way you have to talk. There is a way you have to approach them. I think that you should have a heart to learn. You should have a heart to ask the questions that will get you the answers that you want. You should be thoughtful as to how do I ask this man these questions, because your heart should be ready to tap. You should be like a dry sponge in the water. You are looking for information. You are looking for clarity. You are looking for answers. When you meet such people, that's not the point. That's not the time to go and debate. No, you don't go there to go and debate. You go there to look for answers and solutions. They may have endured some things. They may have cleared some things that you are trying to clear in your mind. They may have endured some pain that you are trying to endure today. So when you meet them, that's not the time to try to look at where you are right. When you meet people you are trying to learn from, you don't meet them trying to prove that you are right. No, you are there to learn. The respect that you show, the attention that you give to the things that they share with you, the questions, the intensity of the questions that you ask, and you being ready for the answers that they give. You don't have to take their answers, but in their presence, you want to appear as interested in the answers that they're giving, as that much intense in you, the questions that you're asking. A lot of these young men don't have clue as to how to meet somebody and take a lot of wisdom from, because they are that much of themselves, because they think that they have also gone to school. So when they meet people like that, they talk to them like they are. It's always amazing. When you meet somebody who has resource, who has productivity, who has shown some sense of responsibility towards their own lives and what they want to achieve with their lives, and you get inspired with that, when you meet them, know that there's no separation in terms of humanity, but there is some kind of difference as to what the person may have achieved. So you want to get into their company and to learn from them. Know how to approach this. Appreciate the privilege. Don't take the people you want to learn from for granted. Appreciate the privilege that they give you, because not everybody that they will give attention to. Even if they are your brothers or sisters or cousins, don't overlook that. Don't take it for granted because they open up to you. Be there, smile, but don't take them for granted. If you're there to argue with their points, then why go? Because it's a waste of time. You want answers. You want questions on maybe the business that you're starting or the business that you have started. You're not clear as to which business to do. You're not even clear as to which scale that you need to do which business. Now you got access to these people because you may not be meeting them every now and then. No. Once in a while you may have the opportunity to meet them. And so anytime that you get opportunity to meet them, that's the time to go and glean their wisdom, their understanding, their knowledge, their perspective of life. When you get access to them, some of them, they may not be physical. Some of them, you may send them emails. Some of them, you may send them WhatsApp messages and they have time to reply you. Some of them, it could be just watching them or reading their books. Whatever, if you happen to have a privilege and they have to reply you back, always know that is an honor to have somebody who has that kind of in-depth of understanding that you can tap from. We didn't have that. We had to rely on books. It's not because some were not around, but we were looking for a particular mix. I particularly was looking for a particular mix, and it was difficult for me to get somebody who was an entrepreneur, who so much believed in Africa, who stood for ethics, and who had some level of engineering technology background that we could use. That was difficult for me. Now if you want to do that and you get somebody with that, know how to approach them, know how to get into their presence. You don't go there to ask for money. You don't go to those people that you want to call mentors to ask for money. What you need is not money. What you need is their wisdom. What you need is their inspiration. What you want to tap into is how do they get fired? How do they overcome all the problems that overwhelm you? The difficulties that they met when they were building their business. What inspired them? What books do they read? How did they handle their family and their business at the same time? How did they choose the wife or the husband? How did they choose where they stayed? Why did they live in Ghana or live here, but they lived here? What happened? What was just a lack or just something that just happened to them, and that which they intentionally thought out to do? What was the difference? These are the questions that you want to ask people you call mentors when you meet them. And whenever you meet them, it's an honor to ask those questions and be ready. And if you want to even engage them and ask questions, you don't have to turn it into a debate and say that me to have my mind. If you have your mind, then you don't need anybody like that. Then you just go and live on your own thoughts. But some people will just come to you, they pester you, they get you, you meet them, and they are there to debate. Everything you say, they say, well, I also think if you're like that, you don't need somebody like that. Just go and focus on your life and build your life. But if you want to go fast, and jump a lot of queue, if there are some things that some people can give you, which will help you, and which will even help you to jump a lot of pain and difficulties. It is not a popular concept in a kind of environment, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship. Because majority of the people believe that if you find some keys, keep them to yourself. So a lot of people have found some things out, but they think that is their life secret or business secret. So we all have to go through and make the same mistakes that they made because they were not ready to share with us, or maybe we were not ready to learn. But it's a good concept if you really practice it. I don't have direct mentor, so to say, who can call me and say, where is your business, where has it got into? I've not had that yet. Why I have not opened myself to a lot of those people is that when you start, most of them don't show any interest as to what you can become. But when you start to make some level of progress, then they want to come around. I don't know, maybe whether it's a bad thing on my part, but I think where I really needed some kind of help was when I didn't understand a lot of things, when I didn't know what I was doing. Could somebody just take the risk to say that I think you should do this, you should do that? So if you didn't show those interests, now that I'm getting a bit clearer as to what I'm doing, I don't know if I should, talk to people like that. I don't know. And I also look for what they stand for. Do they believe in our country and its prospects? Are they hopeful? Are they honest? Are they kind? And do they believe in entrepreneurship? Do they believe in the African people? Do they believe in technology? Or they just trying to, because a lot of them are just getting money. I tell you, the generation that came before us, they are not good at teaching us. They are not. They are good at correcting, saying statements that are combative, but they are not good as to giving us information to train us to take the baton. A lot of them are still as competitive as us. They may be in their 70s, but they are not opening any door for any young man. They are not opening any opportunity for anybody. They're still the ones grabbing all the houses, all the big contracts, all the companies. They are just fighting like all of us, And I don't know why it's like that, because most of them at this stage should be looking at mentoring mentoring the young people, giving them a lot of wisdom, a lot of understanding, and telling them how to fight and compete with the Chinese, with the Indians, with the Americans, you know. But most of them, when you talk to them, they are not thinking along those lines at all. Most of them still believe that we will never, ever even develop. I don't know. Whenever I'm talking to people around 60, 70, I don't get the sense that they are that much hopeful of the prospects of our continent. I think that they still want to see us as if we have to just follow the so-called developed people. So they don't challenge that much. So the energy that comes from them, I don't see that much inspiration and that much conviction from them. And that's why for me, it's hard for me to look at anybody like that and say that he's my mentor. If you're my mentor, I want to see that energy. I want to see that conviction. I want to see that that strength, the belief that you have that we can do something as a people, and that if you have a contract, you would want to give it to a young man and try to help him to become something. You create opportunities and avenues and network for these young people. That for me, it's a proper mentorship. But it's not like you have big projects, you go and give it to Chinese, you know, and then you come to tell us that you believe in us. I don't understand it. Why can't you help us to also learn and become something? And so the mentorship is, for me, is not that much clearly set out, and it may not necessarily have to even be part of our culture. We don't have to do it as others have done it. We just have to know that every one of us would have to find a way of looking at another human being who is trying to do what we are doing, or who has done what we are trying to do, and we look at them and get inspiration from. And if they happen to be from here, that you can get direct access to, direct contact to, it is of enormous advantage. But if you don't get that, you can still learn a lot from anybody distant anywhere, you know. And as entrepreneurs, there are a lot of seminars that people are doing. There are people that are called mentors, read their books. Some of them, even the books that I read, are not physical book. You know, they are electronic books that I read from them. I read their articles, I watch their videos, I study from them. They are my mentors. They don't have to sit down with me because they are sharing. They're sharing the wisdom that if you meet them, maybe it's the same kind of wisdom that I'm getting. You know, it's better because I like the intensity of the thought. I don't like shallow things. I don't like people who are sharing things that everybody hears. I don't like the general wisdom that comes on TV, on radio, in the newspaper. No, I'm looking for people who are very much different in thinking, thoughtful. They are deep. When they say something, you can say that this man is saying something which is deep. I've never heard it before. When it comes to business, when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to finances, investment, training, talent finding, these are people who are always discovering themselves and coming up with strong ideas and philosophies. Those are the people that I look up to as mentors. I don't just pick anybody. And it does not necessarily have to be a religious leader. No. I'm looking for a mentor as an entrepreneur, and I want to see what he's doing with his businesses. When he met those challenges, how did he handle them? Those are the I want to look at that. I'm not just looking for a mentor who just is a professor in entrepreneurship teaching investing. That's not no. I'm not looking at academic content. I'm looking at somebody who has built something out of nothing. Out of nothing. And those people are the people who inspire me, and they find a way of giving back to the society. Now, it's tough for you to find somebody who represents that as a Ghanaian, as an African. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. So you have to find a way of finding a mentor, and people who have achieved that and who still have some level of heart, some level of humility, some level of selflessness to welcome people in their presence and to coach and develop people. I think that is tough for us to find that. I think so. The few ones that I have encountered and tried, you could see I didn't feel the genuineness. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't feel that. I didn't see the ethics. I didn't see the passion. I didn't see the intensity of thought in terms of product, in terms of business, in terms of changing the continent. I didn't see that. I didn't. Majority of them, And if you watch on them on TV, I don't see that. I see them as camera on them, But in terms of going to the foundation of trying to mentor the next generation of entrepreneurs who can change the narratives of our continent, it takes more than just building a business to get money. No, you have to have that capacity to change their mindset about themselves. You have to have the capacity to challenge their philosophy of the perception they have about themselves and what they can do, and the bigness of the vision that they have for themselves and for the continent. If you meet any mentor who can challenge you to think beyond Ghana and think around the continent and the challenges that we meet as a people, the challenges that we have to overcome as a people, and this man can talk to you and change your persuasion and tell you that do this, do this, do this, and do them rightly, ethically, and have the intensity to endure the processes and challenge the status quo. Those kind of people I look up to as mentors. And so the marking scheme for me, it's a bit high. And sometimes I happen not to see. Maybe my network is that small, but I don't see that kind of heart. The ones that I see are those who are wearing suit and tie, trying to speak the Queen's English and drinking tea and eating potatoes, to say potato. Those kind of people. They may inspire others, but they don't inspire me. No, they don't inspire me because I don't understand why, as a continent, we should still be seen as a second-class global citizens. I don't understand why. So a mentor should be able to tell me, no, we are fully as humans as anybody else is, and we can do it to change our story as Africans, our story as a people, and we can use entrepreneurship as a tool to do that. And we don't have to screw and lie and cheat our country to do this. We can gradually build, can gradually go through that. Today I met a young man who's an engineer who is thinking, serious thinking. He's a young man. He's doing his national service. The ideas that he has, why Lord, he used engineering drawings to come up with machine, creating machine parts, thinking of the ideas that is in there. I'm like, yes, this is it. These young men are thinking, and he was telling me about his friends who are also doing similar things. Like, these are the people that we have to inspire. Now, this young man does not have to put that thing on hold and go and look for a job somewhere, become a banker or a teacher or something. This is a guy who can create, and he told me that his passion, he believes that he has a core to spark his industrialization in Ghana and in Africa. I'm like, wow. That's a great thought. So when you meet somebody like that, you cannot talk about one house, one car, getting a job. No, this is a guy who was already thinking. So what can you say to him that will inspire him to think big and go through the process and endure the process and change the history or the destiny of a whole continent? He's thinking of industrialization. He's thinking of how can we manufacture machines, not just plants to process, machines, the base of industrialization. He's looking at late machines, machine parts, how to form. I was like, these guys are thinking. And these are young men. They are innovating, they are creating. So those are the guys that you talk to inspire. And you tell them that you can do this if you have the innovation, if you have the engineering, and if you have the entrepreneurship, and you have the character and the endurance. If you put all of them together, you can do a lot for our continent. The patriotism must be there. You cannot have these divine ideas and just move to America and think that here, if you try to do anything, they will destroy it. No. These are guys that you need. So I told him that, listen, the kind of ideas that you have, you need patriotism. Believe that this is where you need to create a lot of things. So create machine parts, create things that will change the base of industry. Believe that it's your duty to do this. And unfortunately, he had that conviction, and I said that you can do a lot with entrepreneurship. So raise your office, raise your standard. Don't let anybody push you down. When they meet you, don't talk down on yourself to say that, I'm trying to do something on my own and we see what God will do. No, it's an idea that you have. Look at how it can benefit society. Look for those who can pay for that idea. And never trivialize your office. Never trivialize your influence. Build it. Get a PC. If you have a single room you have rented or you patching with your friends, it doesn't matter. Continue to work on this. And if you have to crash 10 businesses to build this, go ahead and build it. But continue to study, believe in yourself, believe in our continent, believe that you are going to practice well, be ethical, be respectful to the society, and never give up. And if you see it as a core, by all means, you will change the destiny for yourself and for your country. These are the people that you inspire. You may not necessarily have to give them money. Just one idea that you share with them, just a time that you spend with them. They start to become, because at the same age that we were, we are that much not clear, as they are not that much clear. Because when you're finishing school, who gives you what? Information from where? They just throw you out, And so we are losing a lot from there because we are not giving people mentorship. We're not giving people teachings as to what they can do with all the ideas that are coming through their head, especially with those who are thinking and planning, those who are thinking of the future, those who are patriotic, those who are entrepreneurial. What can we say to them so that they can organize their thoughts and connect them to the development of our continent? Not only for them to get a job or build a business, but we connect them to the prospects of our continent, because these are great minds, and if you have 100 of them and even 10 succeed, they can change everything. Because all the countries that you hear around the world, there are individuals like these guys who change the prospects of those countries. When you mention all these great innovators and great industrialists, there are people that people mentored, people taught them to stay focused on their dreams and connected to the prosperity of their country and treat their people well and be ethical and continue to do it and never give up. And along the line, they will succeed. These are the inspirations that you give to such young men, and when I meet them, that's what I tell them. That never give up. Never think that this country should help you. The country does not have any strength to help you anyway. So see it as you being the help that the country needs. So I never complain that, they are not helping us, they are not doing anything. If they do it, fine. If they don't do it, they don't know it. That's why they don't do it. But we can do something to change the story so that those who come after us will have a better chance in living in a prosperous country. And all the countries that people run to is because people made sacrifices. That's why the countries are successful. Now here, you don't want to make any sacrifice. So how would the country become successful? How would the country become successful? So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about mentorship and entrepreneurship. And I'm saying that it's not a concept that is popular to us. But one way or the other, we all practice it. We all look up to somebody to inspire us as to where we want to go. When you were finishing school, somebody should have told you, somebody should have given you some kind of career advice, some kind of career, directions and things like that. But when you are an entrepreneur, not much career advice that anybody can give you that can really work out well, because you're not sure. You have a lot of ideas coming out. You don't even know which one to choose and which one to practice. You don't know. So you just try. But there is always somebody somewhere you can look up to. There's always somebody somewhere who is trying to do or who has done what you're trying to do. Don't just brush it like that. Look for people like that. Read their books, get their thoughts, read their articles, study from them. You don't know what you can get by listening to some of those guys. I don't really have one person as a mentor because I look for about 4 things as a person. And I don't think that I've had all of them in one person at the moment, not in our country, and maybe not even on our continent. So I look for somebody who is very much passionate about entrepreneurship, who is very much passionate about the prospects of Africa, and it's people who is very much passionate about ethics and honesty and things like that, and who is also interested in technology, innovation, creativity, industrialization, manufacturing, things like that, to change the prospects of our country. So it's tough for me to find all this in one person. One way or the other, sometimes I find 2 in one person or 3, but not all the 4. So it's okay. So I split them. I have about 3 or 4 mentors that I look up to, and I watch their videos. Some of them I never met. Just watch the video, read their books, study from them, get inspired from them, because I'm much particular about the character of a mentor that I follow. The convictions, the respect for humanity, and the sharing of their heart and their knowledge, their selflessness, their controversy. They should be able to challenge the status quo. As somebody that I call a mentor. The courage that they assume is what I copy, and they don't have to be people that I meet. Their words. I never met Christ. I never met Jesus, but the words that I read from his book, they inspire me. He's my mentor. So things like that. People who are strong in will, strong in character, strong in their purpose, strong in their calling. Those are the people that I look up to as mentors in the field of entrepreneurship. So I don't just look for somebody who is just looking for money and who's just doing anything to get all kind of figures to do contract. No matter who hates that person, they cannot be somebody that I look up to as a mentor. I look up to as a mentor. I don't believe my mentor should sacrifice his country for his personal gain. I don't believe that my mentor should go anywhere and denigrate his people. I don't believe that my mentor should just trivialize the importance of industrialization to the development of our continent, and the importance of entrepreneurship to the development of our continent. So there are very few people that I get to learn and constantly study what they teach, because they mean a lot to me. It's not just me reading Bible, no. I read books from these people. They don't have to even share the same kind of faith that I have, but I like the intensity of their thought, their deepness. These are philosophers, these are achievers, these are people who are challenging things constantly. They are not people who are looking for Land Cruiser and Jeep and things like that and call themselves successful. No, they are not people. There are people who link their success to how much lives that they have changed, improvement that they have brought to countries and people. These are people who own billions, but they don't look at those as the achievement. They look at the lives that they are improving constantly as the achievement. They are selfless. They are willing to share their inspiration, their wisdom. Those are the people that I look up to. So when we were in school, they taught us mentors, teachers, and professions and things like that. Or sometimes you look you look at TV and you see people they call popular people. Everybody wants to be mentors, but I am interested in people who are very deep in their thought, in their philosophy, in their heart, in their mind, in their intensity. Their spirit of excellence, and accuracy. Those are the people that I look up to as mentors. So very few people are qualified. At this stage in my life, very few people I can say that this is really somebody I can learn from. I've cut a lot of those. I don't read a lot about everybody like that. Now, I learn from people who are achieving, who are in the field, doing something that inspire me. So one of the things that you can learn from these people, if you happen to meet them physically, you show respect to them and you give cognizance as to the challenges that they have overcome to building whatever life that they have built, and their commitment to helping humanity. You show respect in that. When you meet them, don't go there to debate and challenge, and just respect them. Sometimes young people want to come and discuss something with you, but when they come, you can see that their mind, they are not clear, they are not conscious, they are not present. The way they talk, you see that no, it's not there yet. The training is left with a little. So be ready to learn. Appreciate the privilege that these people give you, and don't go there to argue and be talking from your village, and if you don't have any physical mentor, you can always use the internet and learn from somebody, but go for the best. Go for the best. If you're looking for a mentor, go for the best. Look for and don't use shallowness. Don't use shallowness. I'm always amazed where young African Americans or young Africans are looking at these guys with tattoos all over, with their dressing all over, jewel on their singing, and say that these are the people that I look up to. You don't look up to those people. No, they are just trying to build a career for themselves. They're looking at people who are changing lives, who are changing scenarios, who are changing the poverty of our continent. We are not looking for people who are entertaining us. No, not looking at an entertainer as my mentor. No, we are not looking for entertainment. We are looking for people who are creating. The other day it rained here, and the whole city is about, the whole city is about to sink. We are looking for people who are using their brains to solve these kind of things. We're not looking for musicians. We're not looking for footballers. No. That's why you see the aspirations of the people shows what they get to endure and the problems that they never overcome. Because what is obsessed, the things that they are passionate about are not the things that will help them to overcome. They are pertinent and continuous afflictions. So we are raising a generation that is looking up to all these musicians as mentors. No. We have to raise a generation who's looking at creators, people who are changing lives, who are redefining the cause of Africa, bringing dignity and prosperity to our continent. Those are the people that you want to show your children, to look up to. Not the ones who are doing all kind of nasty things, and you say that these are our heroes. Our heroes cannot be that. Our heroes cannot be that. They are just entertainers. We respect what they have achieved, but they cannot be the mentors to our children. They cannot be our mentors unless they start to improve lives and change and challenge status quo and bring changes to lives and to our people and bring changes to the environment. Then we can look at them as mentors. But if you just pick a microphone and go and sing somewhere and sing all kind of words, you don't become a hero or a mentor like that, not to the many of our people. So that's why when you see the Africans everywhere, the icons that they have projected as mentors don't represent anything. The icons that we project as mentors should be people who are creators, thinkers, deep in thought, care about humanity, want to make changes. Those are the people that we look up to as mentors. So if you're an entrepreneur, don't be looking at all these guys singing and say that these are my mentors. No, they are not going to take you anywhere. They are busy building their careers, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let them build their careers, but we are looking for mentors, and mentors change lives. They are deep in thinking. They are forward in thinking. They think ahead. They bring dignity and prosperity. They fight ignorance and apathy. Mentors inspire you to think and dream big beyond you owning a house and a car and getting a job and marrying. Mentors make you to change continents and the world. They talk to you and you become like you can do everything. You get 2 minutes to talk with them, you can see that now your mind is different now. You look at life and there's nothing that you can overcome because you met a real mentor. And if you meet a rare one, he's not looking at you and making you feel like you don't have what it takes. The rare mentor inspires you to believe that what you have, you can build anything with it. If you're ready to stay with the process, go through the pain and the challenges, and continue to upgrade yourself, develop yourself. Those are the people that you look for as mentors. And they should be people who are doing it themselves. It's not those who are just talking about it. Those who are doing it, they are in it, they have gone through it, they have results, they have this, they want to show you that, and they have the heart and discipline and the character to be an inspiration to us. Okay, so my name is Kwabena. Mentorship and entrepreneurship, they go hand in hand. Every one of us is looking for somebody to copy. Every one of us, we are always looking for somebody to inspire us. I'm always looking for somebody I listen to. And most of these guys that I've picked as mentors, I read, I listen to them, I watch them, I study them, because every one of us will need somebody like that all the time. And their thoughts, sometimes the questions, the way they answer some questions, you can see that, wow, this guy is great. That's deep in thinking. So we have to add that to the portfolio as Africans, that if you have known something, we have to teach somebody. If you have discovered something, we have to make them available to our people. We should be interested in what people are becoming. If there is a young man around your area, what can you help them? Can you help them? Can you help him for him to set his path right? It's all our duty, because you never know The more we get a lot of people succeed, the more prosperity that we create for our continent. But if you are only looking at ours and what benefits are, that's the danger. Then we are producing a lot of poor people. But the more you can produce people who are sharing their stories, inspiring the next generation, you never know who you are inspiring. You never know who you're talking to. You never know who you are helping to build the wideness of their thoughts and the bigness of their heart and the precision that they can bring to their skill. You never know. And you never know who those people can become. You have no idea. Every human with the right training, right exposure can become anything. Every human. So far as they look like human beings, you never know the level of their intensity, the level of their intelligence, the level of precision that they can develop if they get the right training and if they are planted in the right environment. So whatever that you think you have achieved, be open and be open to share. Be open to be talking to people, because the young people this time need a lot of direction, and they don't have to go through that what we went through when we were looking for somebody to direct us. I didn't want to become a lecturer. I didn't want to become an employee somewhere. I didn't want to become a government worker, a politician. I just wanted to do something with my life. I didn't know what and who to walk to and who to talk to. I didn't know. Nobody was there to teach me. And if you finish school and you want to become an entrepreneur, these are the things that you have to do. So we just have to find books and read them and just do all the try and errors, the try, you try, it doesn't work, and then it becomes something else, it doesn't work, it becomes something else, but it does work, it becomes, so that's why we put some of the ideas that we have in books, so that somebody else can get it and copy and maybe start from a better place than what we started, because we're still discovering and we're still learning, and there's a lot that we have to let. There are principles that countries that have done well are practicing. That's why they continue to do well. They don't hide their knowledge. They inspire people. They are concerned with what the next generation is becoming. So if you finish school and you think that you can start a business, get somebody you can learn from and develop the skill to know how to work with somebody that you are learning from. And if you can't get a physical one, get the one on the internet. Get the abstract one. There's WhatsApp, there's Facebook. Go and find somebody that you can learn. Learn their books, learn their videos, train yourself. Because there's nothing like that. Somebody should be your hero. Somebody should be somewhere doing something that you're inspired and learning. Don't believe so much in you and your only ideas that you're not getting any results from. That's why we watch videos. That's why we listen. That's why we go for seminars. That's why we read books. Because if you see us read all those, it means that we believe that there's something that somebody knows that we don't know. The proud man doesn't believe that somebody knows something that he doesn't know. The proud man doesn't believe that. A humble man always is looking for knowledge to improve himself. So if you see somebody always looking for knowledge and open-heartedly, looking for inspiration from knowledge, from things that work, those are people that you can see are humble. They're looking for knowledge to become better. So don't believe so much. If you so believe in what you know and you don't want to learn from anybody, it's a sign that you may have a problem with pride. You may have a problem with pride. And if you have a problem with pride and you are an entrepreneur, you'll suffer. You suffer. And you don't have to let the problems bring you into humility or into humility. No, you don't have to do that. You have to just learn from those who have gone through some stages so that you can pick it from a level that you didn't have to pick it from, the better level from what they had to pick it from. And so a good heart to learn and to continue to become better. So learn as an entrepreneur, pick a mentor, and continue to learn. And if you are one of them, you also become ready to share your thoughts and your victories with somebody. Yes, that's how we build our continent, actually. That's how we are going to build our continent, because the people who are coming are gifted. That I can tell you. Those boys who are coming out of the universities now, they are very much gifted. They were born into technology. The things that they can do with computers, they just need directions. They just need directions. The things that we were struggling with, in terms of engineering drawings on computer, they just were born into it. So the things that they will send you, you'll be amazed the kind of things that they will just do, and the kind of processes of thoughts. They just need clarity. They just need some people to tell them, do this here, do this here, do this here, and they'll pick it from there. And they can change a lot of things about our continents and possibly build big businesses and big industries and things like that. And so thank you for very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching.